Are you thinking about how to scale and how to go from doing a lot of one on one sessions to packaging your expertise in another way to expand your impact? Well, if you are absolutely in the right place today. Hey there, I'm Sharvette Mitchell, and I am the CEO of Mitchell Productions. We are a marketing and professional development firm. And we help women entrepreneurs that provide professional services. We help them do three things really simply: one, position their expertise; two, gain more visibility; and three, make more money. And so we have certainly a longer spiel than that, but that is the nutshell of it. So, welcome to this session wherever you're checking us out. And listen, we are live in our Facebook community, Marketing Tips with Sharvette. And so I'm going to jump over to Marketing Tips with Sharvette and just make sure that they are getting and have the notifications as we jump right on in. Good morning. We see you all coming right on in as we have this conversation. Hey, Miss Dixon, thank you for being here. And shout out to those that are perhaps catching this on our YouTube channel or as a podcast. So, listen, it's Friday. This is our last weekly session for April. Thank you for those that check us out and check out all of the great training that we have going on. And so, I'm going to be talking today about 5 tips. I'm going to give you 5 tips of how to package your expertise beyond one-on-one sessions. And so, who is this conversation good for? If you are a consultant, if you are a coach, so perhaps you're a leadership consultant, perhaps you are a career coach, maybe you are a financial advisor consultant, anywhere in that genre. You might be in therapy or in the social workspace and looking to add life coaching. So, the life coaches that are in here, and you're thinking, hey, if I keep doing one on one and my whole business model is just around one-on-one sessions. Number one, I'm going to run out of capacity, right? And there might even be some burnout there. So some of you might already be at that place. And also, how do you scale? And so I'm going to talk about 5 ways or how to package your expertise beyond one-on-one sessions. Hey, Lynn, we're good. We're glad to see you. Welcome to all of those that are here. And so the first place that we're going to start, if you are a note taker, this is the time to take notes. But actually, before I go to the first thing, let me just read the room. Let me just preface this. Some of you are hearing me say, how do you package your expertise, right? And that might feel uncomfortable for some people to say, well, I don't really want to wear the title of expert. I don't want to, put that stamp on me. I'm not an expert. So let me just pause you right here. And here's what I want you to do. Number one, I want you to look at all of the past clients that you have worked with that saw results that got transformations. Number two, I want you to look at all of the years you have spent in your profession or in the area that you're working in. And that could be in corporate America, that could be your business, that could be a dual type of role. I want you, number three, to look at your education and the education that you have already gotten related to what you're doing or in any credible field. And then the last thing I want you to look at is any certifications and kind of continuing education that you have gained and have incorporated to keep learning and to keep sharpening, the tools that are in your toolbox. So, with that in mind, let me help you calm your nervous system. With that in mind, that is what I mean when I talk about expertise. So, certainly there are a lot of experts. It doesn't mean you're the only expert in the field, but I do want you to own that you have some level of expertise. And keep in mind, the person that is 10 steps behind you, they're looking at you saying you are an expert in what you're doing. So hey there, Unbreakable Minds Coaching, glad to see you. Happy birthday and all of that. So if you agree, if you're like, okay, I got it, Charlotte, just type agree, and own that you have some level of expertise in what you have been doing and what you deliver. All right, wanted to get that out of the way. Type agree. Want to get that out of the way. Okay, so the first thing here is we talk about how to package your expertise beyond one-on-one sessions. Tip number one and kind of guidance number one is I want you to be thinking about your process in the mindset of a signature framework. So, what does that look like? Think about when you work with one on one clients, what's the process that you use? What's the method that you use? And can you break that down into clear steps? That is called a framework. And then guess what? Then you want to name that. All right, so you want to name that. Think about what you do with one on one clients, and there's probably some commonality, right? Thank you, Dr. Hyman. Yes, you are an expert, absolutely. There are probably commonalities. I'm positive there are commonalities or common things that you cover when you work with clients one on one. So, the first thing that you want to do is identify that. Simply write out what is the process, what are the clear steps that I consistently, on a consistent basis, or the recommendations or the thought processes or the tips or whatever it is that you do that you consistently walk people through. That is called a framework. So you want to be thinking in the mindset of a signature framework, which means this is my process. So for instance, I have the framework called the platform builder. It's a six-part framework that is around marketing and visibility. And so that's something, I certainly have a whole year-long program for that. And that's our core business, a group program. But then if I work with someone one-on-one, I'm still pulling elements from that because you're not reinventing the wheel. So you want to think about the process steps. You want to put a name on your framework. And then guess what? You can trademark that. Haha, the platform builder is a trademark. So that's how I want you to think about it because at the end of the day, your framework positions you as an authority and gives you a clear, repeatable kind of proven method. And people are paying for not just your time, but they're paying for your method. All right, you got it, you got it. So own it and name it. So that's the first thing here. As we talk about how to package your expertise beyond one on ones. So here's the second piece of guidance, or the second tip here is moving beyond one on ones and one on one consultations. The next logical place is to do a workshop. All right, so if you're serving one, then how can I serve many at the same time? So the next logical step, again, is a live, it can be an in person workshop or it could be a virtual workshop where you are looking at your framework and thinking about, okay, what problems or pain points are in the industry or for my audience, and how can I teach one piece of my overall process, right? Because usually if you're working one on one, it's not just one session. It is you're working, with them over a period of time. But for a workshop, it's a once and done situation. So how can you pull out something that you teach one on one and you teach to one person, but now you can teach it to many people? And so oftentimes like a live workshop is really a great entryway into people working with you one on one. So we're not saying that you're throwing one on one out of the window. You're just thinking about how you can expand and do more and better things. And you can take it'll position the pricing of your one-on-one to be higher when you have some of these other elements that people get to share access to you. So one-on-one, they a person gets individual access to you. When you do something like a workshop and some of the other things I'm getting ready to talk about, then that is shared access to you. And somebody that gets one-on-one access should be paying more than someone that gets shared access. All right, I think y'all got it. I think y'all got it. So, the next logical place is to think about, if you aren't already doing workshops, live or in person. So that gives you that kind of that going from serving one to many. And again, a well done workshop is going to generate leads. It's going to help build trust in your audience and turn those attendees into paying clients. And also the other thing about a workshop experience is that really it lets you showcase your teaching style, your energy, and all of that. And it builds credibility and positions you as an expert. So that's number two. Tied very closely to number two is we're going into number three, which is the third thing here around how to package your expertise beyond one-on-one sessions. And hey, Stacy, hey, Gwen, we see you here. Welcome everyone that's here. Hey, Pastor Kathleen, we see you as well. Is to consider creating a group program. All right, so a group program, it could be a group coaching, it could be called a cohort program, it could be an intensive. There are a couple different names. Some people use mastermind. That's a little, I would say, a little bit different aspect, but a group coaching experience or group consulting experience or a cohort or an intensive that allows you to package your expertise again in a group setting, going from working with just one to working with maybe five, or working with just one to working with maybe 10. The difference between tip number two, which is a workshop, and this tip number three, which is a program, is that now you can, number one, you go over all of your framework and you're working with them over an extended period of time. That's the distinction. So workshops are once and done, but when you move into the framework of when you move into the framework of let's see, it's telling me to give me a message here. I hope y'all seeing, hearing everything. Okay, when you move into the framework and working with people over a period of time, you get more time to work with them, and there's more transformation. And so think about group experiences and packaging it that way, and that multiplies your impact. So you're going from working one on one with one person. Now you have this group experience. So now it's 5 people or 10 people or 15 people. And it helps to cut back on burnout, because the level of effort that it takes to come up with content for one person, about the same level of effort if it's 5 people, if it's 10 people. Now you might get, or 20 people, you might get different questions, more questions, but your initial level of effort is the same. And so that's why I would be a proponent of you offering group programs, which could be over 4 weeks, it could be over 3 months, it could be over 6 months, it could be over a year. So you have flexibility. I've done group experiences that were 8 weeks long. I've done group experiences that were 4 weeks long. We have the Platform Builder program, only launches twice a year. That's 12 months long. And so you have some flexibility there. Let me capture this comment. Yolanda Gray said, wow, thank you for all of this. I have a cohort right now and looking to grow it. Awesome, awesome. Gwen is saying, great breakdown. Yes, yes, yes. Great breakdown. Thank you. Dr. Hyman is saying, multiply your impact. Yes, that's how you want to think about this. Going from one to one and then going to a group experience multiplies your impact. And then here's the other amazing nugget, is that this group kind of container, this group cohort, it allows you to build community, and many of your customers are looking for community. It allows you to build community, but attached to that is cash flow, because again, instead of one person paying you, you have 5 people paying you. Instead of one person paying you, you have 10 people paying you. And so there you go. So that's it right there. All right, so let's move right on. I might be out y'all's way real good this today. Okay, so the fourth tip, as we talk about, if those of you that are just coming on in, we're talking about how to package your expertise beyond one-on-one sessions. Who is this for? Professional service providers. You might be a leadership coach. You might be a career consultant. You might be a financial advising consultant. You might be in the space of therapy or social work, where you are adding life coaching that is not in the clinical space, but you're adding some other things outside of what you're doing in the therapy space. That's who we're talking to today. That's who we're talking to today. All right. Anyone that is working with people one on one, whatever that is. All right. So, the fourth tip is to build digital products. Build digital products. And so, what's so amazing about digital products is that you basically take that knowledge and that expertise and create on demand resources that people buy. All right. So you create on demand resources. It could be mini courses. It could be video recordings of workshops. It could be audios. Guess what? It could be PDF, just a download. Somebody will buy, if you have tips, so let's say somebody is buying a house, right? And you have a digital guide of, here's 100 things you need to do, or here's, they say 25, because 100 is probably gonna make them feel like, oh my god, I can't do this. Here's the top 25 things that you need to do, when you're building a house or buying a house. That's something that somebody would pay for, right? So digital products, again, help you kind of take your expertise, package it. You're not involved in every single transaction. So when you work one-on-one, that's you or somebody on your team involved with the transaction. When you execute group programs and workshops, that's you or somebody on your team that actually is involved. With digital products, you are taking your expertise, you are packaging it, creating ebooks, creating e-guides, creating audio courses, creating workshops. You create once, but then sell multiple times. And the level of effort is very low. All right, so think about that. Think about that, adding some digital products. And if you have digital products already, let us know in the chat, wherever you're watching. If you're on YouTube, if you're here in the Marketing Tips with Sharvette, let us know if you already have some digital products just to give people ideas of what they have. Again, these are great because they're low effort, but they can be high leverage because they can be working, they can be bought while you're asleep and they're delivered. And we teach our clients, how to do that, what systems and stuff to use that are simple. But a digital product is really like a quiet salesperson. They are always working behind the scenes. And when you set it up, boom, there you go. So that's the fourth tip. The fifth and final tip, and there are probably more we could add, but the fifth and final tip around how to package your expertise beyond one on one sessions is to offer speaking, training, and consulting services. So, again, we're thinking about how do I go from one to many? Gwen is saying she's working on her digital products. Great. How do I go from one to many? So, when you package your expertise, think about, and that's why we started with number one tip was you've got to be thinking about your expertise, what you do with one-on-one clients as a method. What is your method? What are common things you always cover? What are common recommendations, common tips? That is your method. So once you have this signature framework, then you can create a keynote speak or presentation on your framework or a part of it. You could do perhaps corporate training. So you could be thinking in the space of, okay, if I'm training one person, I could probably train a room of 25, 30, 100. Because if you're doing one, you probably can do many. And think about how could I take what I'm doing and offer it as like corporate training or sessions or even some strategic consulting. So that there helps you really step into that leadership, that thought leader role and really command higher fees, especially if you're talking in the corporate training areas. And they are absolutely looking for like, what is your framework? What is your signature approach? Even if you want to think about it as an approach. And so there you go. There you go. And so you don't have to just coach. You don't have to coach everyone either. That's the thing. When it's one on one, I've got to coach this person. I got to coach that person. Maybe it's just you need to teach the room. So that's what tip number 5 is. I don't actually need to work one on one, but if I can get in a space of teaching a whole room, then there is impact there. Hey, Kia, she says I have an ebook and a devotional as a pre-order freebie. So there's a great example there. Yolanda from Unbreakable Minds Coaching is saying she's in the process of adding her silent salesperson now. This info is right on time. Gwen is working on it. All right, so good. This was confirmation for you. So that is that. I'm good on time here. So again, if you're doing one-on-ones and you're thinking, how do I scale? How do I multiply my impact? How do I increase my impact? Then these 5 tips are here. If anyone just came in and you're like, hey, Sharvette, can you do a quick recap? I just came in. If I see the word recap typed in the comments, I'll do a quick recap. Otherwise, I'll get out of your way here on this Friday. And again, thank you for those that are checking us out on YouTube or listening to the podcast version of this. Go ahead and subscribe wherever you are. And this weekly training is being brought to you by my 9th in-person event. It's called the Platform Builders Summit. That's happening in Richmond, Virginia, November 7th and November 8th. That is a Friday and a Saturday. Pre-sales and early bird is available right now. If you look down in the comments wherever you are watching or look down in the notes, you'll see a link to be able to purchase your ticket to the Platform Builder Summit. It's the VIP experience. We do not have general admission tickets. We only have VIP tickets that we are offering because we want to just spend some good time with our audience. And so who should attend? This is only open to women entrepreneurs, guys who might come across this link some kind of way. Sorry, you can't come. But women entrepreneurs, this is for you. And I opened up saying, like, in a gist, what do we do? I could give you a whole long spiel, a whole long elevator pitch, right? But there's 3 things that I focus on. One, helping experts like yourself and professional service providers position their expertise. That's one. Get visible, more visible. That's two. And make more money. That's three. That's the gist. So if you're interested in any of those, you should be at the Platform Builder Summit here in Richmond, Virginia, November 7th and November 8th. Jump over to platformbuildersummit.com. We've got a flex pay option, and you want to be in the room. You want to be in the room. All right. I think that is it. All right. It's a wrap. Again, do I see? Oh, okay. Ready. Yes, we have some of our guests that are already here who have their tickets purchased and are going to be with us. Listen, you can get here plane, train. It'll be in the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, and we look forward to seeing you. All right, it is a wrap. If you missed anything, just go back. You know what? Let me just real quick, just to be on the safe side, give a quick recap as we close out here. So 5 tips how to package your expertise beyond one-on-one sessions. Number one, turn your process into a signature framework. So break down what you do with one-on-one clients into clear steps that are repeatable and your proven method. That's number one. Number two, host live or virtual workshops. So that's taking you from going from working with one to working with many, and it multiplies your impact. And that's a kind of once and done deal. But then number three is around creating group programs, group cohorts, or intensives where you work with multiple people over a period of time. It could be 4 weeks, it could be 8 weeks, it could be 3, 6 months, 12 months. So that's that. Number four is building a digital product suite. And so creating digital products that can be sold, you create once and then you can sell them multiple times. And they're working behind the scenes, and there's no level of effort other than your initial level of effort. And then number five, as we talk about how to package your expertise beyond one-on-one sessions, is offering training, speaking, keynotes, and consulting services based on your framework and what you know and your expertise. All right, it's a wrap. We thank you. We'll be back in May with additional trainings that we'll be doing here. And we thank you for being a part of our community. To find out more, again, the platformbuildersummit.com is where you'll find out information about our ninth conference that is going to be here in Richmond, Virginia, November 7th and 8th. To find out more about Mitchell Productions, you'll see the link down below, mitchell-productions.com, or you can just look up sharvettemitchell.com or Google Sharvette, and it'll get you right there, and you can see all of the services and everything that we have to offer. All right, I want everybody to have like a great weekend, and we'll see you all on the web. Bye.